Hello and a warm welcome to this video on runes for divination. Yay. Okay, Grove Cat here. And I really like last video I wanted to show you different I wanted to shorten the video a little bit, so that's why I the two different videos, one on what are the runes and the other one about more like the different spreads that uh, we have. And I mean, bear in mind that those are the most common ones, I'd say, or ones that I like. So that's pretty much what it is. Okay. Now, if I compare the runes to tarot, for example, as far as spreads go, um, if you are familiar with tarot, you will notice that some are the same. I mean, some are pretty basic as far as spreads. So that's pretty much how it goes for that. Now, one thing that you have to remember when you start doing um, some divination with runes, so it requires, I'd say, a certain intuition, I'd say, to be able to get it correctly. Of course, like the more experience you have, the better it will be. So that's pretty much how it works. There's different things that you can do to focus. Let's say different things that you can do, like meditation and all that, and cleansing your different runes or tarot cards or crystals, whatever. But that will be a different video again. Now, this being said, um, I'm just going to start with the the few different ones, most common ones, most common spreads that we have. All right, so now um, I chose this white board here for one specific reason. It's just like it gets the image a little bit better, I'd say. Okay, now for the first one. The first one is really, really, really simple, as you can see. So now this is my pouch with all my different runes in it. So what you can do is basically just get one, okay? And then, well, depending on the question, depending on what it is, you start interpreting this rune. It's there. So that's very simple. Like there's nothing the person will ask a question, you draw one rune, and then you interpret this meaning, what it means, this simple one, the single one, sorry. And well, sometimes you might lack some detail, of course. Like this would be like something very fast. I tend to use that like for yes and no, right? So in this case, for example, if whatever the question would have been, Gable would be, uh, it's a gift. It's something that will be given to you, or whatever the question may be. Right now, I have no questions here, so I'm just showing the different ones. All right, so this is the first one. Super simple, no problem there. All right, next method. Let me just put some stuff there. All right. So now you have the other one, which is the same basic. You have this, and then what you can do with this one, it's well, some call it the Three Sisters, some call it past, present, future. I call it past, present, future. So past, present, and then future. Now, as you know, or you should, or most people know anyway, um, things that you do in the past will affect whatever present and, of course, will affect future. So you may want to take a decision on something um, because, well, something is happening or whatever, and you want to know where did it all start, now where it is, and where it's going. So that's pretty much the past, present, future there. So past in this case, and I always go from um, left to right. Why? Because it's just my way of doing it. You can do it from left to right, but personally, past, present, future is in that order. Okay, so you need to see situation that what happened in the past. What was the general idea? What was happening? What triggered all this in the past? Now you want to know what's the best way to deal with it in the present. So it's more or less, I would say, the predominant energy that goes that is affecting today. And the last one, the future, well, it's the potential outcome. And I want to stress out here, potential outcome means if nothing is done, then this will happen. So maybe you want something to happen. Maybe this is great and you want this to happen. You do nothing. It's great. But if you don't like the outcome, what is coming, what is potentially coming, then you have to change your behavior. You have to change your present if you want to be able to make whatever in the future um, to change. So, if nothing, in short, if nothing is altered, this will be your future. So, as you can see here, there's a flow in between the three. So, past, present, future, there's always a flow, there's always a link between them. Now, something may happen. You can go and say, I wish I had a little bit more um, insight on this. Like I'm not too sure of what's going on. So what you can do, you can add precision. You can add precision with two, and maybe sometimes you can have three different, like three layers. So that's kind of another one if you want. It's just like past, present, future. You have more detail in the past, more detail in the present, more detail in the future, and that goes with it. Also, they can interact, right? So it depends on the question, it depends on your intuition also. So sometimes you may have, hmm, I wonder, this was no question whatsoever, and I find it interesting. Anyway, um, that's beside the point. So this is basically what it is. So the flow, you have more detail there, more detail there, more detail. So you can have this start with only the first row, right? And then add one. And if you find that it's not good enough, you add another one. So that's pretty much the thing about the feeling in the past, what's feeling in the present, and what will be the feeling in the future if nothing is done. Okay, so the that's present future that can be extended if you want. So now this is another one like that is um the cross. So if you're familiar with tarot, you will see this one is very, very familiar. So you draw 5 runes, and the first one you start on the left, okay? And then you put one on the right. Maybe I should get it a little bit closer here so I have a better view for you guys. Yeah, that's good. And then, okay, you go with one on top, and then you go with one in the middle, and you have one on the bottom. Now, what does this all mean, right? So here, the one on the left is to do. So what needs to be done? After the question, of course, people ask question. You can use this one. And there's what needs to be done. Here would be what to avoid. So what's the potential blockage of all of this? The one on top, what can change the outcome? Sometimes it's just a decision you have to make, or sometimes it's just luck or something that will happen at one point. One in between here is how should I put that? Um it's what is important to remember, like kind of the key. What is the center of attention? What is actually um the main, I wouldn't say the main goal, but it's something that is very important to the whole situation. And the one at the bottom is the result. Again, if nothing is done. So this is something that is a little bit more complex. I actually like this one quite a bit, um, just because I've used it for so long that I actually like it. But and some don't. And also I do tarot, so tarot de Marseille. So that's the one that I usually work with in the tarot de Marseille, and I just bring brought this one um to the runes also. So here, just a reminder. So do what needs to be done, avoid what's the potential blockage, can change the outcome, what is the key or the most important to remember about the whole situation, and this is the potential outcome of your whole thing. Now this is now for this one, it's a little bit different, and I don't know if my camera will be uh, far enough. Oh, geez. Yeah, kinda, kinda. Cannot, like, I don't want to move it too much. Actually, let me do something. I'll wait here. I'll change my settings so I can show you the whole thing, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this one might be yeah, it's a little bit freakier as far because it's a bigger one. Now, keep in mind with this one, there's something that is different, is that you don't really have to have a um a map like this. You can just mentally remember it and it will do the same. Like it will do the exact same thing. It's just this one, I just wanted to have it there to show you guys what I mean by the circles and all that. So I'm going to explain this here first, and this is more the traditional one. It's known more as a traditional throw, and well, this is what it is. So you will throw different runes on this, and it will depend on where your runes will land. So wherever it lands, it will talk about the past, the present, or the future. And depending on which quarter it goes into, it will represent the earth, the air, the water, or fire. So really, this is where a lot of learning has to happen at one point because, well, this is a little bit more complex one. So now, like I said, this one is just to represent, just to show you guys what it is. Um, because it's hard to show a mental image, right? So I just wanted to have it there. People use just a basic cloth, or I've seen people just use a fur to as a board to drop their runes on it. Now, whatever surface you want to use is really up to you at this point. There's nothing there. There's nothing really. Now, okay. So what your the person consulting will do is you will have your runes, and I picked another group of runes here that I use sometimes for this, just because the other ones are a little bit big and it doesn't fit perfectly there. So what you ask the person to do is basically to take a handful, like it doesn't matter the number, the amount. Like some prefer to have a certain number, others don't. So I just go with whatever the person uses or have in their hand, and then the person just drop it. Whatever lands in the back there, so you saw this one roll over there. So if it lands on the back there, okay, or if it lands and it's upside down like this, not showing the actual rune, I just remove them. Just careful not to move this one, and I will analyze depending on where the things will has landed. And as you can see, there's some that are upside down. I don't do upside down. I just do the regular one. And yep, there you go. And this one was like, now with this, what happens is that um, this will talk about the past, this will talk about the present, and this will talk about the future. So in this case here, you have one that is in between. Well, that only means that whatever uh, that is present going into the future. So it's a present, but very going to the future. And when you have some that are overlapping like this, they usually ask to be taken together. So the representation or the interpretation that you will make will have to take that under consideration, that you have two, one on top of the other. So I usually start with them, and then I go with the other ones. Always depending on where it is, right? So depending on where it is. So am I forgetting something? No, I think it's pretty much that. So you deal with the three concentric circles the same way as you would do the three rune method, and um then depending on water. Oh yes, that's right. I put before I go further with this. Now, what does it mean, right? What does it mean if it goes um, earth, air, water, or fire? Well, if it goes in the earth section, well, that section talks more about work, money, or material matter. So that's if it lands there. Now, if it lands in air, then we're talking about the intellectual sphere. So language, personal culture, um, ideas, and things like that. If it goes in water, right? So in this section here, I would not use this one here in water just because it's just at yeah at the link there. Not too sure, depending on what would come up there, but I usually would not take care of that. Now this one, and in the past, but in the water, water in this case mean the sentimental sphere. So this is where relationship, both of couples and friendships, and so really like the sentimental sphere. And in fire, here in this case, as you can see, there's none. But if there was anything in there, that would be the transformation section, if you want. So the instinct, the creative energy, sexuality. So in that field. Okay, so this is a good idea of what it is. Now, it will not like the other video. I went back at one point to get the like the ideas of I will not go back on this one. So if you need something, if you need to uh, remind yourself something about what it is and all that, well, just stop the video and listen to it and write it down. That's pretty much the best way to do it. Now, okay, me back to here. Okay, warning there. Things that I don't want to forget, and this is what it is. Now, I've seen another one, and this one actually, um, I find very, very interesting, and I actually like it. And this one comes from, um, let me bring it closer here. There you go. So let's change a bit. So it comes from the Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle, okay, from Athene Noctua. I think that's how you pronounce it. Uh, this one, by the way, I don't sell any of those. You would have to go and check this one if you want to buy it. But you can do the same thing with the runes, right? So in this one, what she suggests. Oh, by the way, it's beautiful. Like it is a beautiful. Let me. Yeah, I really like that. What she's done with it is, for example, like geez, lighting is not the best. Okay, like that. And she used the rune with an animal, a familiar. So then it adds to the power overall of the card or the rune. And so this is actually something that I like too. I like the card idea. Okay. Now, she's suggesting in this is that you go and find whatever you want to be your best um best outcome. Okay. Sorry. So you put your best outcome there. Now, after that, you just go and plays the cards depending on how you want to do it, right? And in her little book that goes with it, she explains also the different. Okay, so one, two, three. They basically do a what you call it there, like this. You basically do another like a cross, like we've done before, but with the um the ultimate outcome. Okay, that's how she calls it. The ultimate outcome of all this. Now, this would be the current situation. This would be the obstacles. Wait, one, two, three. Yeah, the obstacles. Sorry. Um, oh no, that's the five. Sorry, three would be the obstacles. Oh geez, I'm all mixed up here. So three will be the obstacles. Sorry, and four would be the asset, and then the attitude of approach. Now, in short, if there was somebody asking something, I would say, like the attitude of approach, I'd say, wait a bit. This is something you have to wait a bit because that Isa would is pretty much that, like something that goes a little bit. Waiting is a little bit bizarre here. Sorry, I had to change it and didn't think about adjusting the light correctly. Sorry about that. Okay, so that's the thing. I must admit I haven't used it this one a lot because I just got the Oracle just recently. But hey, that's something that I looked into and I've done it a couple times, and it actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. So, oh yeah, I'm just going to review just a little bit. So you take this one out, which will be your ultimate outcome. Then current situation, obstacles, assets, and attitude of approach. So that's how she's doing it with this. And I could have done it with the runes, but honestly, I find this I really like this. I really like this oracle here that she created. It's well done too. As you can see, there's a good sized book for the little thing that's there. So if you're interested, I'm sure you can find this in on internet. No problem whatsoever. I can't remember. I think actually it's my wife who found this and who found the oracle. So she's the one who bought it for me. Nice. Thank you. All right. Now the last method is, well, as you can see, there's only a few, pretty good, but sometimes some people would go and say, "Hey, it doesn't talk to me. It doesn't talk to me well enough." Well, what she did was went into deep meditation and she created that. Um, Others can just do and work it out and work a different way to do it on your own. And that's something that you can do because remember, the runes were something that was kind of, there's not a lot to it. There's not a lot, historical indications, I would say, about how it's done, how it was done. But hey, that's why if it talks to you, if it's if it talks to your intuition, go and create your own specific spread if you so choose. It's also okay. You're not stuck into one way of doing things, right? So just keep that in mind. That's the main reason why I like runes, because I can pick if I want anything else, depending on how I feel that time. Like, some days you have good days, and sometimes you have bad days, and so in the good days, you can use one, and the bad days, you can do the other one. So that's pretty much how it is. Okay. Um, is there anything else? Huh. What I can tell you is, as much as like I enjoyed creating my own runes, it's a very rewarding process. But it's the same rewarding process if you are creating your own spread, because it actually you can feel the positive response from the rune. May seems a little bit bizarre when I say that to some people, but to be honest, that's how I felt when I started way back. Those runes, I was like, oh wow, I actually feel response from them. I feel that I'm connected to them somehow. So that's a good thing. And if you do that with um, your other spread or whatever, like runes, you can use different runes. I have so many sets of runes here. Um, it would take quite a bit to show you all of them, and some I like, and those I created specifically for the the videos, because they're big and they're kind of precise. So that's good. I like how it looks. Okay, so this has been long enough. Thank you, thank you for coming and watching. Please like, subscribe as much as possible, please. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps a lot. It helps the channel. So please do. I'm starting, so help. All right. So if you want to suggest it to the people also, that would also be a good thing. So thank you very much once again. Blessed be all. See you later.